Your dreams will continue to die, be eliminated, no longer cease to exist the longer you stay in your comfort zone. Because it's not easy, we want to quit. Woo! Welcome all to your space for everything empowerment. I am your host, Tariq Williams. You're the listener. I'm the host. This is the Speak Your Vision podcast, your space for everything empowerment. Welcome to the Speak Your Vision podcast. Let's get into it. Let's get right after it. So life is lifing these days. Things are happening, and so I think this is a really important time to refresh. There's been some good, there's been some not so great. And I'm going to share a couple stories with you all today and really understand where we are looking at in terms of all of our futures, right? Think about it, we're towards the end of March now. We're literally in the space of ending the first quarter of the year. So I think this is a good opportunity to check in with ourselves a little bit here, right? So ultimately, it's this, the title of the episode: Where Our Dreams Go to Die. So, what we're going to talk about in this episode, I'm going to share a couple stories with you all. You all know that my big theme of the year is what it looks like to continue improving, and you've heard me talk about failure a few times not today, but this year on the podcast. So we're going to discuss a little bit of that. I'm going to share some stories with you all. We're going to really define what impact looks like and then understand, check in with ourselves, like where we're at with our lives right now, where we're at, and ultimately what it looks like to move forward and truly answering the question, where do our dreams go to die? What does that look like? Um, so as it pertains to this upcoming year, I told myself I was going to put myself out there in a lot of different situations, right? I told myself that there's literally nothing that can stop me from applying to the goal, working towards the goal, anything like that. And so, since I said that, well, then that's what I'm going to do. We signed the contract. So we're not negotiating on if we're working on everything that we can to be greater. We're not negotiating a different rate. We're not negotiating any of those things, okay? Because I already said to myself that I'm applying, doing, trying everything and anything so that I can, at the very least, grow, okay? So it's been really neat. It was a really neat opportunity that popped up on my email. Okay. So let's get into the story. So I saw something on social media that talked about entrepreneur of impact. And that's me. I'm like, yo, that's me. That's me. The winner gets the opportunity to have a mentoring session with Damon John. The winner gets the opportunity to be featured on Forbes magazine and $25,000. Entrepreneur of impact. That is my brand. That is what we're talking about here. So I was really excited to sign up for this grant because I was looking at different grant opportunities, and I'll tell you about a couple others that I've done here in a little bit. But I was really excited about this opportunity because it really felt like I was the syllabus, the rubric. I was what they were looking for. So I applied to the grant, filled out the application, but the application was a little bit shorter than I anticipated, which is fine. I mean, I wonder how they're going to figure out that I'm the one with just these two or three questions, but that's fine. So I went and I applied for it. And then I realized as I continue looking, I saw that it starts a day or two after I had applied. So then, after doing a little bit more, getting some more clarification, I realized that this Entrepreneur of Impact grant is not a grant at all. It's a contest. It is a contest that one person wins and they have to get votes. We have to get votes from friends, family, community, etc. to be able to win the grand prize. So I took a deep breath and I said, okay, once again, I already signed the contract with myself, so I wasn't going to back down or quit. I didn't know it was possible, but at the very least, I was going to do my absolute best to win. And so there were about 85 people in my group. Okay. So first, you had to be a part of the top 20 after the first week. After the first week, I was in the top 20. Not only was I in the top 20, I was in the top five. But they eliminated like 60 people right off the bat. After that, week goes by, top 15 goes. Boom, top 15, we're there, let's go. Sharing with friends and family. I'm getting a lot of support from friends and family. Excellent. Next week, 5 more people are gone, top 10. Boom, I'm still there, let's go. After that, top 5. And then I make it to the top 5. But see, the interesting thing about this contest is that there weren't just 80 or so people in this contest. After doing the math, there were thousands of people in this contest. See, my group of 83 or whatever it was only one group of people in the contest. Okay. And so only one person leaves the group. And I left the group. I stayed in first place and I was able to make it to the quarterfinals. Let's go. I was super excited. I was like, oh, like we've made it so far. And who would have thought, right? And I wasn't sure what my community looked like or what all those things looked like for my business and my brand. And they showed up. Quarterfinals come around. There's only 8 people in the quarterfinals. There are about, if I remember correctly, there were 63 groups of 8 people in the semifinals. Excuse me, in the quarterfinals. Or could have been more than that. But besides the point, 60, say it was 63, but I actually think it was more. I think it was over like 200. Besides the point. So only one person leaves the quarterfinals. And so I continue sharing with my community, my friends, my family, all over that I've known people, and just continue to share. And that week, it was wild because with 1 minute left, so with an hour and a half to go in the contest, I ended up in first place, which was fire. I was back in first place. I was in second and third for a while, and in the quarterfinals, going back and forth between second and third. But then with an hour and a half left in the contest, I made it to first. But I knew the plan. I knew what other people were doing. So what I did was I created a plan, talked to a few people, because at a minute and a half left in the contest, boom, I was back in second. And so I had people part of my community and they voted for me. And at the very end, I made it into first place and we moved on to the semifinals. And at this point, I'm like, I'm about to win. Damon, John, and I are about to be boys. Let's go. Okay. Forbes magazine, here I come. I got my pose ready. For those of y'all listening on the podcast on YouTube, I did a little, hand under my chin type thing. Besides the point, I'm excited. I'm ready. I'm understanding how big of an opportunity and how life-changing this moment is about to be in my life. Until the semifinals came around, and unfortunately, they did not go the way that I anticipated. And my community stood up for me, though. I had a ton of votes. I probably had more votes in the semifinals than I did in the quarterfinals, but it didn't work out the way that I wanted to. And so in a moment like that, it made me start to think about questioning the purpose, questioning the goal. Things like that will make you think, when you think that something is for you and it doesn't work out as when you get towards the end and they're about to pick the winner here for the Entrepreneur of Impact contest here in about another week or so. And it really felt like it was called to me to put myself out there and do this. And so when I lost, it hit. And I had to take some deep breaths. I had to think about what next was going to look like for me. And if I'm being honest with you, this is fairly fresh as of a couple days ago. And so I'm thinking about what next looks like for me and understanding that it's hard. It's hard when, and I'm a pretty competitive person, as you all know, but it wasn't necessarily about being competitive. It was about, it felt like Entrepreneur of Impact is what my brand is all about. So it was unfortunate to lose. And congratulations to the person that will end up winning. At this time, we don't know who's going to win because they're in the finals now, and there's only 8 people left. Um, and so when I think about that moment, I think a lot of times during our losses, it's very easy for us to kind of just stop doing whatever we're doing and to say that the thing is not for me. And I've come across some other struggles this year. I applied to the Stan Store Dare to Dream contest. I made a little bit of a song, of course, and I was so proud of it. I was like, "There's no way!" I put myself out there and I created some really creative works of art and explained what my goal, what my vision is to ultimately end burnout. Be there for people, showing up for working professionals and business owners to really recognize their true value and no longer be underpaid. There's too many of us out there that are undervalued and underpaid. That's what our vision of hope is all about. I applied. I didn't get it. I also applied to the AIR American Independence Radio Amplify program, which was an $1,000 grant for podcasters. And that was an interesting application too, 'cause I got to put in a lot of what we do here on the podcast that you all get to listen to and check out. And there are a bunch of other podcasters and people, I don't know if this is going to work out or not. I'm a very independent podcast. I just show up here consistently for the people, and this is your space for empowerment. And I got an email when I was on, where was I? I don't remember where I was. I was somewhere. I don't remember where I was, but I was somewhere where I was out to dinner. I was out to dinner with some friends, and I had to take a step back, and I got an email, and I opened it up, and it said, "Congratulations. You won the $1,000 grant, and you are now a part of the Amplify program scholarship to get coaching for podcasters weekly and be a part of this community and have all the resources of this podcasting community of Air Amplify." And that was awesome. In moments where you're not too sure where your value is, you're not too sure where next looks like, in moments when you don't know if people are recognizing the work that you're putting in, it was dope to feel recognized. It was cool to feel recognized. And I'm a part of that program right now. We've been meeting now for over a month or two now, which has been really neat and a great learning experience. I bring all these different things up to say is because sometimes a lot of losses pop up. A lot of losses pop up, but you got to learn from those situations and truly give power to your wins, right? I feel so lucky and so blessed to be able to be a part of this Air Amplify program as a podcaster and get this coaching weekly. It's been fantastic. It's been great. A lot of things I realize I don't know about podcasting, but it's been a really neat journey. So here is what we all need to understand. I bring up a lot of the different things that are going on for me right now, and a lot of different opportunities that I'm applying to right now. And the fact that, listen, I could easily stop, but once again, I signed the contract. I'm not negotiating with myself anymore. I'm literally putting my all into the dream. I'm putting my all into the dream. I'm putting all the work into the dream. This isn't about finding your passion, people. This is not about finding your passion. See, here's the situation. I know my purpose, and it's not about finding my passion. It's about putting passion into my purpose to get the job done, to get the work done, to obtain the dream. But let's answer the question now. Where do your dreams go to die? It's simple, really. Your comfort zone. Your dreams will continue to die, be eliminated, no longer cease to exist the longer you stay in your comfort zone. Because it's not easy, we want to quit. Because it's not simple, we want to quit. Because it's not laid out for us, we want to quit. I'm telling you right now, I'm handling some disappointment with the loss. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that you're not going to be disappointed. I truly thought that this situation was going to be for me. That meeting Damon John, the entrepreneur of impact, and the stand store, all the things were going to be for me. And everything was lining up the way that it needed to. And it didn't. But that's okay. Because what's for me is for me. Am I disappointed? Sure. Did I not talk to many people for a day when I realized I was no longer going to be in the contest? Absolutely. I needed that space. But the situation is this. You don't just walk into your dream and you're automatically there. You're going to fall down. You got to get back up a few more times. The trick is stand up more times than you fall down. But from this Entrepreneur of Impact contest, I did not actually realize or notice the impact that I was having on my friends, family, community, and people that I don't know. People showed up for me in this contest that I hadn't talked to in years. People showed up for me in this contest that I had never met before. One of the competitors in my first group finals, he ended up coming in second or third in the group finals, and he had a really neat business model about AI for people who I believe have ADHD and what that looks like for them. Brandon Ward. His mom donated to me and gave me some votes when I was in the contest after her son was no longer there. That hit me because that meant that my story and what I bring to the table meant something to him and her, right? That they felt like that someone that they didn't know at all was willing to support me. That was amazing. And so it just goes to show you may not know the impact that you're having on the world. So don't quit the thing. Don't quit. Because you're impacting someone right now that probably hasn't mentioned it to you yet. So when you don't show up, they're wondering where you're at. You're literally speaking, okay? You are actually being selfish if you don't share your gifts with the world. If you don't open up and be vulnerable with the world, well, vulnerability is a little bit more tricky, but if you don't share your gifts with the world, if you don't share your vision with the world, those things are your responsibility, and you will unfortunately be, and I know this is harsh, but it's selfish. It's selfish because there's somebody out there that needs you. So I'm telling you right now, you're going to need to stand up more times than you fall down, and you will fall down. You will. You will. So you have to take the time, give yourself what you deserve, because in the space where you're at, you may feel at undervalue. But the key to not feeling undervalued is you need to first value yourself. And you do that by not letting your dreams die. Because where do dreams go to die? The comfort zone. Your dreams are not meant for sleeping. They're not meant for sleeping. That's what the world will tell you, that, oh, that's just there for them. That's just there for the other person. That's just the 1%. Well, why can't you be the 1%? Your dreams will continue to die in your comfort zone. So get out of it. Put yourself out there. You're going to fall. You're going to struggle. You're going to need to improve. You're going to need to learn along the way. But there's nothing in life that I've ever accomplished without failure. There's nothing in my life that I have ever accomplished without some struggle. There's nothing in my life that I have ever accomplished without needing improvement, without critiquing myself, so that I can continue to get better for myself, to create more impact for my clients. And I do that by showing up for them, being a bit vulnerable, connecting, having empathy, and finding ways to continue building. The moment I think I have nowhere to grow is the moment the dream dies. And where does it die? The comfort zone. Don't let it happen to you. Don't let it happen to you. If you no longer want to feel undervalued, if you don't want your dreams to die, you got to first value yourself. Get uncomfortable. Work. Give yourself grace when needed. I haven't said this quote in a few months now, but it's the truth. Your dreams will end. Your dreams will be eliminated. Your dreams will die in your comfort zone. Your dreams are not meant for sleeping. And so when people say that they're chasing their dreams, they're really implying that they're sleeping on their dreams. We don't chase dreams here. Your dreams are waiting for you to put in the work. Value yourself. Value the dream. Your community, your friends, your family, they're there for you. Because truly, may not be Colossals, or the Colossal was the name of the company organizing the contest. I may not be Colossals person. I may not be Stan Stores person, but I'm my person. I know that I create impact. I know that you create impact. Validation is for parking. Continue putting passion and what you believe in into your dream. You're going to get there. Let's get it. Not only I am Vision of Hope, but we are Vision of Hope. This is the Speak Your Vision podcast. Let's get it.